Bowl Bakers. When I buy fondant in a store, I never have enough to cover my cake. So I'm going to show you how you can make it yourself at home, and it is so much easier than you would think. In a heat-proof bowl, we're going to add in some water. Sprinkle over some unflavored gelatin and let it set. This stage is called blooming the gelatin. Once your gelatin has set like this, nice and firm, we're going to put it over a pot of simmering water. Heat the gelatin over the water until it melts, and then add in some glucose syrup or corn syrup, some glycerin, and then some shortening, and then mix them all together until melted. Carefully remove your bowl from the heat and stir in your vanilla extract. And now we're going to set it aside to cool down. Once your liquid mix has cooled, we're going to pour it over our icing sugar in a nice big bowl. And then with a wooden spoon or a spatula and a lot of elbow grease, we're going to mix these all together. I don't have all of the icing sugar in here, but we're going to add it in bit by bit, depending on how stiff you want your fondant. So it's still pretty loose, so I'm going to add in some more sugar. And then just keep on stirring. Once your fondant really stiffens up and it's hard to incorporate the rest of the sugar, we're going to turn it out onto our table and knead the rest of it in. At this stage of kneading, you're probably adding in all of your reserved icing sugar, and then just keep on kneading until your fondant firms up and you get the nice stiff texture that you want. If you find that you've actually added too much sugar and your fondant is too stiff, you can always add in a tiny drop of water onto the counter and then knead that in. So my fondant is still a little bit soft, as you can see, so I'm going to keep on adding the rest of my icing sugar. So did you know you can actually make your own homemade sprinkles from fondant? It is so easy. You can make any color and shape you want, and I actually did it before in a previous video. The results are fantastic and they look so great on your desserts. There you go. After a few minutes of kneading, you have your own homemade fondant. Now this is ready to use, or you can store it for a few weeks. What I like to do is put a little bit of oil over the surface to keep it moist, and then wrap it nice and tight in a Ziploc bag. I also have a recipe for homemade marshmallow fondant along with my sprinkles and lots more bold baking basics, so make sure you check out those other recipes on my website.